Hello everyone. So last time we talked about nature versus nurture theory kung asa during a theory sa atong na-discuss is our behavior or our personality is either nature or that's the way how our parents raised us kung paano ta nalagi padako. And of course we have nurture theory na possible pod kung unsa man ato ang behavior nowadays as adults was influenced by our environment. So, di ba? Then, we also discussed ecological systems theory. So, in ecological systems theory, according to Uri Brothenbrenner, ang ato do kunong environment na ay different levels of systems. So, na ay close sa ato as individual, na ay other nga systems, sunod anang close sa ato then next system, then di pinakadako nga system or pinaka-broad na medyo layo na sa ato ang concern pero nagyapon siya dakong epekto sa ato ang development. So, we defined 5 systems: the microsystem, mesosystem, macrosystem, exosystem, then the chronosystem. Okay, so let's continue about this new theory by Ludwig von Bertalanffy. So, man itong ginatawag nga general systems theory. Okay? So, later we will further discuss kung unsa gyud unodan ni ang theory, unsa gyud ang ginapasabotan ni. Okay? In 1950s, the main approach to understanding was reductionism. Divide something into its parts. So, from the word reduction, our environment has kumbaga very broad. Dako kayo siya nga kumbaga dako kayo ni siya ang atong environment. So to better understand ang human behavior or ang interaction ba sa tao to other people is to reduce it from bigger environment to smaller environment. Like for example, imuhang society is very broad, dako ka na siya. Then we reduce it into our main environment, like for example, family environment, sa imong community, singa na siya. So unsa ba ang ginatawag nato nga kumbaga from bigger environment gina-reduce nato gina-reduce nato siya into smaller parts. So ato ang immediate environment which is from the family, so nana siya dakong impact pod sa ato ang development. So in 1950s mo na siya ang ginagamit to understand human behavior or personality and also human interaction. In later on, Ludwig von Bertalanffy proposed system thinking. Discover how something interacts with its environment. So from katong reductionism, from bigger environment to smaller environment, then the environment nga pinaka-close sa iya gihimo niya og nagpropose siya nga himuon siya og into like system. When we say system, this is a set of something, a set of things that working together, no? So sa isa ka mechanism, they are part sa isa ka mechanism kung asa they are working for something. Like for example, karang ginatawag nato og nervous system or karang digestive system nato. So we have different parts, natay stomach, natay mouth, natay intestines. So isa sila, nag-work sila for the same system that pag-digest ay mo ang pagkaon, but they have different functions. Iba ang function sa imong mouth, iba ang function sa imong stomach, iba ang function sa imong intestines. So kumbaga, that is a system. These parts sa atong body, they are working for the same function. So the same with this ginatawag na to og gi-propose niya. Like for example, sa tuang instead nga reductionism nga theory ay ang gamiton nga from bigger environment to smaller to the most immediate or immediate environment sa isang katao, gihimo siya system. Like for example, gihimo instead of immediate environment, gihimo na siya family system, community. So nga na siya because they are working for the same function, but they are working together pero they have different functions. Okay, so general systems theory, science of understanding open system theory, provides a framework to study open systems, is too general nor too specific. So one of the focus of general systems theory is open system. So later discuss na nato what is open system. Okay. All living and many non-living things are open system. Systems theory gives us a way to think about open systems. Systems theory lays in the foundation for the analysis of modeling system. Systems theory provides an analytical framework for comprehending dynamic and interrelated operating system. Okay? So, all living and many non-living things are open system. For example, you are born, pag may tag open system, you are open for changes, you are open for karang ginatawag na to og influences from outside environment. So, di ba? Pag gipanganak ka nga poor, pag gipanganak ka nga poor and you seek for change, then that is an example of open system. Pero pag gusto nimo nga magstay sa kung unsa nga class, kung paano, for example, you are born poor, then gusto nimo magstay lang kasi nga ng state, then that is the opposite of this system. Karang ginatawag na to og open system. Sige na siya. All living and many non-living things are open systems. So, for example, humans. So, since our environment we are, kumbaga, kita as humans, we seek for change. That's why natay ginatawag nga development, natay gitawag nga social change. No? Paano ta naging system? Because we are working together for the same goal, survival. But we have different ways in doing it. No? Natay different ways on how we survive. So nga na siya. And the same with non-living things. So, naging system sila because they also have their functions. Different functions to maintain balance. Mao po ilahang tumong or ilahang goal. Or kita may nagaset sa goal nila because they cannot think. Diba? But they make sure that balance is will be maintained. So once na mapakialaman nato na sila, or na consider sila as open system because we humans or we living things can also change the way kung unsa na sila, no, or pwede na to sila mapakialaman. We can change its forms, its purpose, paano nato sila gamiton ana. Systems theory gives us a way to think about open system. It lays foundation for the analysis of modeling of systems. So we as a system, we are also looking for other systems kung paano ba siya makatabang sa tua, or paano ba siya makahelp sa tuang development. That is what we call modeling. No, we based for other systems. Ay nga ni ang gibuhat sa for example karing for example is kari bitong ginatawag na to nga development sa ibang organizations. Ay nga ni ilang gibuhat. So basi maging helpful sa atong organization. So ana siya. We do modeling also. Systems theory provides an analytical framework comprehending dynamic interrelated operating systems. So this theory, it helps us to analyze the interrelated operating systems. So sa iba't ibang system, we have different functions. We have different tawag ani. We do our job, we do our function in kumbaga differently. But we have these commonalities on how we still have these commonalities, commonalities natay gagmayng difference, similarities on how we do our function. That means ang dili man gyud ta pareho sa ibang system, pero we have some similarities like techniques and others nga pwede na to i-apply, nga pwede possible makatabang sa tua. Okay, so sense, open system, then response. So mano yang the process. So when we say the sense, kung unsa tuang ni na kumbaga like for example the sensation and perception, no, sensing is dira ta nagakolek og karibitang information, dira nato makolek ang information, or dira nato ma sense ang isa ka stimuli. Then we do thinking, and we do response, or our perception, atong view, our decisions. So gana siya. Like for example, sa atong environment, relate na to in later past discussion. We as a human, we are open system because we are open for change, we are open for influences, no. So I have some problems encountered, no, like for example, I am a victim of victim ako sa kalamidad. I need food for survival. Tong sa last na to nga example, I need food to survive para mabuhi gyapon ko. So sensation is kumbaga dari naga-enter ang influences. Nakita nako nga nangransak ako mga kauban og mall og sari-sari store or convenience store. Sensation mo to ang nasa kong environment kanay tabo pod. Then open system is when we decide to when we think about it, when we make kumbaga paano nato ma-analyze or paano nato ang maging opinion or view about sa gibuhat nila. then when mo pop up nga ay mali na, then our response will be difference from their actions. Pero kung mayroon ganito nga, ay need pud nako to survive, then our response will be the same. Kumbaga, dito na maging effective ang influences from our environment when we decide to do the same. Pero pag na-sense na to, ingana nga, na-sense na to ang na-sense na to ang ingana nga action sa atong environment, like nakita nato nga nang ransak na sila og convenience store, but we decide not to do the same thing, then we are a closed system. Sige nga na. Then, kung na-tempt gyud ta, we do the same thing, then we are an open system. Meaning, ang difference nila, ang closed system, wala siya nag-entertain og influences. Wala siya nag-let nga madala siya sa influences. While the open system, maapektuhan siya sa mga influences sa iyang environment. So that's it. Sense, open system, then response. University, open system. So there are, when we say open and closed system, ang dagan kini siya og dagan kay siya og karibitang ginatawag na tong meaning. So ginagamit ni siya sa physics. This is for the HBSE, human behavior or sociology something. And napud ta ginagamit sa karibitang sa social welfare agencies. There are also open and closed system. So ang open system sa isa ka agency, like for example ngani, si university is always university is open for funding, open for enrollees from different race ba, different social class, sige na. Pero kung si university nag-set og rules nga ang akong dawaton kay mga juyaman lang or mga poreta, mga dato or pobre, or mga babae lang tanan or mga lalaki lang tanan, then that is what we call closed system. Nga naman, though they entertain kung lalaki bisan pag sa from other races lang siya, but ang maganda to dira is dili siya pwede pakialaman sa ibang system, like di siya pwede sudlan og mga babae, dili pwede mag-enroll ang mga babae. So nga na. Policy, approved funding, industry needs. So medyo libog din siya nga sample. So for example, diri sa to ang ginatawag og policy approved funding. I-change na to siya into, for example, policies. Na to ang sample cases sa isa ka university na policy. So kara siya nga policy nag-ingon nga for example, school for boys. So si university nag-set og that is an example for a closed system. So for open system, si policy mag-set siya og rules which is not related kung si kinsa ang pwede magsulod dira sa university. From different social class ba, ethnicity, race, unsa pa, babae ba, gender, babae, lalaki. So nga na. So kung iyang policies kay wala nag-determine og limitations sa kung kinsa ang makasulod dira sa pwede mag-enroll dira sa university, that is an open system. Pero kung mag-set na siya og rules nga na mga mag-set siya og policies nga magbawal sa, for example, na ay qualifications when it comes to social class or gender or sex, then that is a closed system. Then our subject is C, university. Next is the funding requests, new knowledge, and graduates, or ang iyahang outcome. Okay? So, systems thinking, holistic approach to problem solving. Why this is, anong gitawag na to holistic? When we say holistic, from the word whole, dili siya whole nga banal ha. This is holistic, kabuuan. Holistic approach to problem solving. So, in understanding for relate na to in human behavior, and understanding human behavior in holistic approach, ato ang basis is dili lang isa. Nganong inga naman ang batasan sa isa ka tao ay tungod kay inga na ang iyang family orientation, inga na siya gi-raise iyang family. How about the other view, like the influences from outside environment? No? Pag bingon ganitag inga na nga specific nga, inga na siya gi-raise iyang family. So dili pa na, it cannot directly answer the question nganong inga na iyang batasan or behavior. No? When we say holistic approach, dili lang isang ato ang view, yang environment, ang relationship between sa iyang family, relationship niya between religious institution, sa iyang peers, ana siya. That is holistic. Kumbaga as a whole. Tanan nga kung asa siya naga-interact, those are different systems. So we view tanan na siya to ang tanaw to better judge nganong inga na gid siya batasan. Ay nganong medyo demonyo man na siya batasan nga butan man niyang family, di ba? Na yung mga tao nga nganong demonyo man na siya batasan nga butan man niyang mama, butan man niyang papa, butan niyang kuya. So dili day siya tanan na to sa ibang system, like when it comes to spiritual, dili day kay siya wala day siya strong bonds sa nga system. Then nganong inga naman na siya nga butan man iyang parents, butan man iyang siblings. Then gitan-on nato ang iyang family relationship na day favoritism iyang parents. So diba? That is what we call holistic. Tanan possible contributors or influences ato ang gina-view, dili lang isa, to better understand or to para mas makaroon gud ta og better nga problem solving. Sure good nga ma-hit gud nato ang cause of the problem. Reflecting on how the organization relates to its business environment and how factors in the environment can affect the organization. So, there are different factors in the environment nga possible maka-apekto sa tua, no, or sa isa ka organization. Like for example, the sa environment nato, sa natural environment, like for example climate change, peace and order, isa pud na siya. Unsa pa ba? No, peace and order is isa na siya. Do you expect or may expect ba nimo nga ang isa ka tawo mag-grow nga good person kung ngayang environment is ulay karing gud nga peace, like sayo pas buntag nanay magdunggabanay? So what do you think, pwede niya to ma-acquire nga behavior? Di basig pag niya sayo pa pud sa buntag nakadunggab na siya because mo to yung makita sa iyang environment. So nga na. Or when we say about the organization, no, sa isa ka organization, that is also a system. Organization is a system. They are headed for the same goal, the same objective. Pero it is consist of different parts with different functions. Okay? So man akong ginaingon kina nga isa sa sample sa open system, not just the individual but also organizations, agencies. So nga na. So factors in the environment. So unsa ba ang mga factors sa environment nga maka-apekto sa sa tuang environment? For example, peace and order. Another example is peace and order. Kung halimbawa ikaw worker ka sa isa ka foundation, no, sa isa ka social welfare agency, kung asa located na siya sa isa ka lugar kung asa talamak ang crime, do you think maging successful na siya nga agency kung ang imuhang workers kay threatened? Ay butang nato negosyo. So negosyo, for example sa inyong lugar uso ang ransak, karang thief, uso ang riot, uso ang shooting, then do you think maging okay ang imuhang business nga itindog if ever magtindog kag negosyo diya, maging okay kaya siya kung inga na imong environment? So dili base imuhang mapalay pag starting nimo giransak na imuhang tindahan or imuhang negosyo. So nga na siya, the same thing, the same sample. So kumbaga ang success nimo as an individual or success sa isa ka organization is sometimes mag-base sa kung unsa mga kumbaga factors nga nasa environment or mga events nga na mahitabo sa atong environment. Definition of system: an identifiable complex dynamic entity composed of discernibly different parts or subsystems that are interrelated to an interdependent on each other, and the whole entity with overall capability to maintain stability and to adapt behavior is in response to external influences. So libog guys siya, but in simpler definition, system is a kumbaga that is a set. Kumbaga when we say a set, a group ba, a set of things kung asa they are working together for the same objectives, goals, but they have different functions, no? Like for example, a school or a family, butang na to pinakasayon nga system. So we are headed in different in the same objective: survival, maayo nga panginabuhi, good social status, stable nga economic condition, financial, but we have different function. Si papa nagatrabaho, si mama nagatrabaho, ikaw gaskwela para makatrabaho in the future. So that is a system. So nagets? Example lang siya. So Boulding's explanation: somewhere between the specific that has no meaning and general that has no content, there must be, for each purpose and each level of abstraction, an optimum degree of generality. Okay? So we also have Beckett's. So di lang kato nyo kay daghang tas pa ni siyang file. So general systems theory traits. Systems are goal seeking. So as I said a while ago, ang isa ka system, it is consist or a set of things. Human ba? Animals ba? Non-living things ba? So nga na, it has goal. Like for example, human, ato family, unsa ilang goal? Di ba? Ang goal gid sa isa ka family is maliban sa pagpadaghan, no, multiplication or reproduction. Isa sa goal ni family is good life condition. Sustainable nga financial state. So ana. And after ana, pag ma-reach na nato, na po tayo bagong goal. Pag ma-reach na nato isa ka goal, another na po nga goal. Ana. Systems are holistic. The same kay na. Same example kagay na. When we say holistic, kabuuan. Wala lang siya nakafocus sa isa, but as a whole. Have hierarchy. System has hierarchy, even ang family na hierarchy. Kinsa ang kumbaga na ay superiority, kinsa ang may inferiority. Like for example, sa family na ang si papa ang may superiority, no? Ang mga anak ang may inferiority. And sa isa ka organization, nagya po hierarchy. Kinsa ang may highest authority, si boss. Kinsa ang medyo may lower, si workers. Kasi nga na. Have inputs and outputs. Transform inputs into outputs. Consume and or create energy. Affected by entropy. Have equifinality and have feedback. Okay? Goal seeking. All open system must have goals. Bisag kita as individual, we have goals. Natay mga goals in life. No. Ang isa ka organization na po na siya goal. So, relate to human environment. So kung imong system, like for example, ikaw as an individual, imong family, it has goal. That is an open system, no? When it comes to spiritual, napo na siya goal. Sa may goal ni spiritual for betterment sa kinabuhi sa tao, no? Charity and others. So each system, it has goal. Atong environment has different systems gani, di ba? So each of that system na sila different goals. Okay? Inner directed goal, kumbaga katong when we say inner, it's inside that system. And outer directed goal is the outside. For example, sa isa ka organization, we have goal for our organization. No? We have goal for outer. Like for example, ang goal nimo is to help. That is your for self-fulfillment. Ang goal sa mong family is to have this better living. So that is for para sa inyo, ha. That is inner directed goal for fulfillment sa family. Kung ikaw pod napug kay goals in life, that is your inner directed goals. Pag once nga nana kay goal for other people or for your environment, that is what we call the outer directed goal. Kung nanay goal si family nga mo help sa iba nga systems, mag-contribute to other system, that is outer directed goals. So design strategies are typically outer directed goals. Maintenance strategies are inner directed goals. How? When you say maintenance, kung gusto nimo og karing development as a human or ikaw as individual, diba, kung gipanganak gani ka nga pobre, then gusto nimo og changes. Once ka nagkaroon na ka og change, like nangat-angat na imong life, di na kay ka poor nga the same as before, we do maintenance. Kung unsa imong state, i-maintain, then reach other goals, higher goals, maintain. So nga na, that is part of the goal seeking. Holistic. So this is the interaction between different subsystems. Holistic. Like for example, there is a ay lang ni pansinan ning kay Frederick Hagel sa. So butang na to there is a circle nga example. So diri kari diri. So imagine this is you. And all of these subsystems are actually the influences from the environment. No. Ikaw, for example, you, nakay some problems. Nakay problems like, karibitong some people are atheist. No. We have different subsystems. About school, church, and community. Unsa pa ba imong family. Though wala kay faith in God. For example, nga na imong situation. Though wala kay faith in God, okay man naman kay humanitarian goal. Pero dili imong concern is ginabuhat nimo para lang imuhang ginabuhat is for your own self-fulfillment. So, community okay imuhang interaction. Okay imuhang imuhang relation. Pag-abot diri sa family, okay imuhang relationship with them. Pag-abot po diri sa unsa pa ni siya, the other one, okay po siya. Pero pag-abot ito nga karing medyo lain siya og batasan, kay di ay hinaiyahang connection with other system like the church, spiritual. So nga na siya, we view this one as a whole. Gina-view na to ni siya as a whole. Kumbaga, dili lang siya mag-focus sa isa lang ka system. We have different systems nga naga-contribute sa tua every day or sa tua while we are growing. So when we say holistic, kumbaga, dili lang isa ka system atong i-focus or atong questionan. Like for example, those people who are who commit crimes gani, nakakommit og crimes. Or for example, nag-involve siya sa illegal drugs. Sa community, okay ang interaction, daghan siya friends, daghan siya og karing ginatawag na to og mga peers. For example, sa school, okay po diyang performance. No? Daghan siya friends. Sa church, naman po siya faith. Pero pag-abot sa pag-abot siyang family, last day ahang kumbaga naday diri si family ang naging cause. Like iyang family di ang like for example katong isa ka bata nga ginapagamit siya sa iyang mama og illegal drugs para makatulog. So kung i-view lang nato siya as individual, ka bata pa nag-adik na. Mo day natong view. Pag tan-aw nato sa iyang systems, influence sa iyang different systems. Oh, okay man din iyang church. Kay simba-simba man din yung bata niya, member man din siya sa nga organization dira sa church. Okay man po diyang school. Okay man po diyang community, kaya daghan siya amiga. So pagtanaw na to sa iyang family, dito day ang problem. So nga na siya, that is what we call holistic. Okay, so nakuris-kurisa na gyud. The whole is more than the sum of the parts. The whole determines the sum of the parts. So din na kay na siya to kuan. And of course, system is hierarchical. Hierarchical or na siya hierarchy. When we say hierarchy, for example, here is, for example, si organization or mingon tag system. So, mingon taog sa isa ka organization natin ginatawag nga structure. So, sample lang ni. Hope makita niyo akong drawing. So, this is a sample of hierarchical or structure. Ano? So, in a system, natay ginatawag nga hierarchy. So, kari si hierarchy mo ni ang pagkasunod-sunod so kung ginatawag na line of authority. So, mo ni siya ang superior. Mo ni sila ang below position. Kari siya ang may great power. Kari sila nagyapon sila authority, nagyapon sila power, pero nakadepende sila diri sa nasa taas. Then kari pong nasa pinakababa, nakadepende po ni sila diri sa middle. So, kumbaga, that is what we call hierarchical. So, whole system, which is the mo na siya ang pinakataas. The whole the system as a whole, like for example, family. Then we have subsystems. We have subsystems nga sila ang naga-interact. So sila ang naga-interact. So wait. So karing nga mga subsystems mo ni sila ang naga-interact for the whole system. So ang state sa whole system is mag-differ diri sa iba nga subsystem, like for example school. Si school mo na siya ang whole system. So si school na siya ay different the CEO, the press, ano si school na diri si CEO, then we have the lower position, then the lower position. So whole system is the school. Subsystem mo ni sila si CEO, si admin, si president, after nga system na pag yung lower system, si faculties, and other pa, si students. So mo na sila. They are all working for this one whole system. Pero na sila different function. Na sila different power. Si CEO na ay pinakadakong power. Si lower position na siya ay power pero mag-differ siya diri sa taas. Si faculties and student na sila ay power pero mag-differ gyapon sila diri sa higher position sila ha. And they are all headed. Karita na nilang ginabuhat is this is for the school or for the whole system. Then si system na siya iyahang function or na siya iyahang goal. That is what we call the hierarchy. So the same sa atwa, for example sa family. Family has its own goal na atad tayo ginatawag nga decision making, no. Pero natay sometimes naga-differ ta sa kung unsa ang ano sa ato ang father. Mag-differ ta sa kung unsa sa command sa kung unsa ang command sa atong father. So diri sa hierarchy, ang effect ana sa ato ang for example as individual, no, or sa ato dito mismo is we are all headed for the ginatawag na tuog system goal. So kung unsa man ang maging kumbaga while we are achieving the system goal, na magyud na siya maging effective to sa ato as individual. So like for example sa family, ang gusto ni father dapat magtrabaho. Nya ikaw as individual nga karing ikaw nga member sa family nga unemployed. So unsay maging na sa maging impact, no? So medyo libog ni siya nga kay this is more on man god kumbaga agency management, and both we need to relate it to kung paano na siya makaapekto dito sa ato as individual. That is part of our environment Next, transform inputs into outputs. So what is input and then what is output? Okay, so inputs mo ni siya atong ginatawag nga kung unsa tong gina-invest, and outputs is kung unsa tong gina-earn. Sample, we invest for example sa since we are thinking about system, for example sa isa ka organization, no, organization, all of our investments like money ba, effort, unsa pa, materials, raw materials, those are part of the inputs, or at mo na tong gipang invest. And what we call outputs, like for example atong agency is or atong organization is naga-help og people, no, natay na help, natay natabangan, those are our outputs, mo to tong gi-earn. Dili man good mag-differ man good si input ug si output sa kung unsa ang ato ang goal, system goal. So from input we transform it into output. So nga na siya. Okay, entropy, a measure of the amount of disorder in a system. So everything disintegrates over time. Negative entropy or centropy. Effects of entropy are offset by the system transforming itself continuously. So there are systems that they disintegrate. No? Even family disintegrates kani. That is a system. No, that's why na mga broken family. The effects of entropy are offset by the system. So transformations in a system can also affect the system. Continuous transformation, development ba na siya, so nagyud na maging changes or nagyud na siya maging effect dito sa system. Like for example, not closely related to the kumbaga environment and us, but a simple example of this one. Karing transformation bitaw sa isa ka system. Like for example, si isa ka organization sa una, manpower ilang gamit. Because of transformations, nahitabo nga transformations. Instead of using manpower, gigamit nila kay machines. So nga na siya. So, that is because they still have, kumbaga, na yung mga transformations or development. So nga na ang ginapasabot diri. So, let's try to connect sa tuang na pod is, for example, sa family. No? Sa family, namagin na siya yung mga na siya mga transformations. So later, soon, discuss na to ang family life cycle para medyo mas na to. Well, gets po na to ni. Sa family, there are also changes. Sa family life cycle na magunay, katong bata pa imong mga anak or katong from transition nga wala pa mo'y anak hangtod sa nana mo'y anak unsay naging say maging outcome. So sa family nga wala pa'y child, so family nga from state nga no child, walay anak, into family nga naay with child. So unsa bay maging effect ana? So dito sa parents na siya effect, ilang responsibilities mag-change, ilahang unsa pa ba, relationships. So sometimes change po na. So tung nan sila with child na sila. Tam nga with child, iba na ang bond sa family. Family bonds. Ang state na iba na. Tung time nga dagko ng anak og they want to separate na to make para mag-form na pud sila og ilahang family. So nana po na changes in relationships or states, di ba? State sa family, environment niya. So di ba? Nga na siya. When na-transformation sa isa ka system, it's all napod na siya yung mga effects sa system as a whole. So continuous na ang changes. Maintain order through such things as repairs, maintenance, and possibly growing by importing energy. Energy, equifinality, and feedback. System create or consume energy, physical or emotional. So si system daw nag-consume of energy. It's either physical or emotional. Equifinality is the ability of for systems to achieve goals in a number of ways. For example, si family. Si family is a system ha. For example, family. So they have different goals. Nasa sila different goals. Like maging okay from poor family, gusto nila maging rich family. So gusto nila madato. So they have different ways kung paano sila madato. Work, ang uban mag-gambling, ang uban kay commit crimes. Singana. And there are a lot of agents or organizations or systems nga they have different ways on how to achieve goals. Okay? So, diri na masulod tong theory nga conformist bata, retreatist. So, nga na siya. This flexibility allows system to avoid effects of entropy. So anyway, what is entropy? Unsa din ning entropy? So entropy is lack of order. May tag lack of order kung baga wala bitay regulation. Tinga na siya. Kumbaga sometimes natay ginatawag nga anomy or breakdown, social breakdown. So without ano, kumbaga with all of these flexibilities, it helps the system para dili maging disorganized, to maintain its order. Nga na siya. Systems have feedback. Feedback can allow system to change its direction. When we say feedback, diba, unsang observations outside, unsang opinions outside, so those are feedbacks also. Kumain gani nga iyang family kay karang ano kay iyang family samok, kuan kay iyang mama manggod kay ngani. So those are feedbacks. So once na natay ma-receive nga feedback, diba, we change directions, we change plans para maging we always aims for positive feedback. We hate negative feedback, so we hate it. That's why we do our best, we change directions just to earn this ginatawag na tog positive feedback. So wait, okay, we change directions to earn positive feedback, or especially if those feedbacks are not actually helping us in reaching our goals, or dili na siya okay para sa tua. Okay, so let's continue our discussion in other clip kay patapos na ang iyang limit.